Greetings, everyone. My name is Jack M. Silverstein, Chicago's sports historian, and this is my essay, The Greatest, about Michael Jordan's final shot with the Chicago Bulls. Their heroes could not save them. Like Cassandra, they saw, eyes pained, soul scarred, their dragon a knight, their knights without steel, their hands on their heads, on their cheeks, on their mouths, their shrieks made no sound, their prayers found no home. Before the ball reached the rim, they knew. Before the ball left his hand, they knew. Michael Jordan had done it again. He was there, same as them, yet not the same at all. He was making history. They were drowning in it. You've seen the photo. For its cover, Sports Illustrated used the picture from the front. That only shows Jordan. The photo that really tells the story, the real story, is the one from behind him, the one that shows his victims. It's the quicksand of fandom, the bad break of the wrong birth. 2 nights earlier, the Jazz had made it out of Chicago, survived and alive. Now they had 2 games at home. That's what you play for over 82. These 2 games right here. And on the first play, a break. You don't like to say it that way, but after the historic dogfight of 1997 and the historic ass-whipping of Game 3, you take the breaks where you can get them. This break was Scottie Pippen injuring his back on the game's first points. A dunk, he landed, and a grimace. He would play only 26 minutes, the fewest he played in his 35 career finals games. He scored just 8 points, only 2 more than his career finals low, which had come 2 days prior in Game 5. But Pippen had 11 boards and 11 assists that game to go with his 6 points. This night, he had his career finals low in rebounds at 3 with just 4 assists. He was playing hurt and asked out of the game with just 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Ron Harper was playing sick. Tony Kukoc was playing tired. He missed his pregame nap while watching soccer. Dennis Rodman was struggling in the finals, just 8.4 rebounds per game with only 3 in Game 5. Are you ready to play 48 minutes? Phil Jackson asked Jordan before the game began. The GOAT had one answer: whatever it takes. I don't think any athlete in my life has had as many signature moments as Michael Jordan. They started his rookie year and never stopped, went into hyperdrive his second season. When he scored those 63 points in the playoffs against Boston, Larry Bird famously called him God disguised as Michael Jordan. Overshadowed is what Bird said about Jordan 3 days earlier. There is no question, Bird said, that Michael Jordan, healthy, is the best basketball player in the league. This was Larry Bird talking, the man who by season's end would have his 3rd ring, his 2nd Finals MVP, and would be the first player since Wilt Chamberlain to win 3 straight NBA MVP awards. Larry Bird, at the height of his powers, said that this 23-year-old was his and everyone's superior. Hell, rewind to 1984, before Jordan had played even an NBA preseason game, and no less than Bobby Knight called Jordan, quote, the best basketball player that I've ever seen play. In his 13 Bulls seasons, Jordan did everything. He could do everything, and he accomplished everything. He made you imagine everything, and he made you believe in everything. When he retired in 1993, he was merely 15th in NBA history in scoring with just 9 seasons under his belt and was already getting GOAT love. 5 years later, when he set foot on the Delta Center court for Game 6, he had the most Finals MVPs in league history, the 2nd most MVPs, the most scoring titles, the highest scoring average in a Finals series, so many mosts that it's silly to list them. So I'll just add one more that's unofficial, yet I feel no harm in saying it. Most signature moments. The 63, the free throw line, the shot, the layup, the shrug, the shot part 2, the double nickel, the flu game. There are franchises that don't have that many thes. So I don't know quite what I expected from Jordan in Game 6 of the 98 Finals. I just knew that to win the title, we would have to win this game because a road Game 7 was too close to the flame. I knew that to win this game, we would need one of Jordan's all-time greatest nights. And I knew that a Michael Jordan all-time great night was something no one but him could envision. Michael Jordan's lowest scoring NBA Finals was 1996, in which he averaged 27.3 points. That was as bad as it got for MJ in the finals, a series in which he averaged more points than a boatload of iconic finals MVPs. We're talking Kareem in 71, Hakeem in 94, Magic in 87, Dirk Nowitzki, Moses Malone in 83, LeBron in 2013, Tim Duncan in 2003, and Larry Bird in 1986. So when it came to wondering about an all-time MJ night in Utah, what that might look like was anybody's guess. I certainly didn't know. After all, you don't want to be greedy. You just want to revel in brilliance. He started slow, 8 points in the first quarter. But in the second, 15, with a half-court three that rimmed out. In the third, slow again. 6 points on 2 of 6 shooting, the Jazz taking a 5-point lead into the final quarter. It was time. In his final quarter as a Chicago Bull, Michael Jordan produced. Again and again. Some from the floor, lots from the line. Dragging his body into the paint. Whistle, foul shots. Swish, swish, swish. A perfect 8 for 8 from the stripe. Half of his points that quarter. And with a minute to go, he seemed to have not done enough. John Stockton hit a three to give the Jazz a 3-point lead, 86-83. The final minute of this game would mirror my favorite Bulls game ever, Game 6 of the 1993 NBA Finals. That one had an MJ layup, a 24-second violation for Phoenix, and then the all-hands-on-deck final magic trick from the Bulls. Michael to BJ to Michael to Scotty to Horace to Paxson for 3, sealed with Horace's block on Kevin Johnson. That game celebrated the power of the team. This game revealed the team within the man. Because after Stockton's 3 with 41.9 seconds remaining, the only Bull to touch the ball for the remainder of the 1998 season was Michael Jeffrey Jordan. A fast layup, a steal on Karl Malone under the basket, and then, at a time when any other coach would have called timeout, a time when any other player would have been eyeing the sideline awaiting a timeout, Michael Jordan and Phil Jackson knew this moment was different. I looked up and saw 18.5 seconds left, Jordan wrote later. Crowd gets quiet. The moment starts to become the moment for me. That's part of that Zen Buddhism stuff. Both Jordan and Jackson were seeing the same thing. The Jazz were waiting for that timeout. Not a chance. At that moment, Phil said later, I think we were of one mind. Well, you know what happened next. With his teammates fanned out, with Stockton unable to double because of Kerr's series winner the year before, MJ dribbled the ball down with only Brian Russell on him. Here's how Mike told it in his 1998 book, For the Love of the Game. I had no intention of passing the ball under any circumstances. I figured I stole the ball and it was my opportunity to win or lose the game. I would have taken that shot with 5 people on me. Ironically, I have problems going to my right for a stop, pull-up jumper because I have a tendency to come up short. I normally fade a little, but on this shot, I didn't want to fade because all my jump shots had been short. Think about that. I consciously extended my hand up and out toward the target because I had been coming up short. It looked like I was posing, but it was a fundamentally sound shot. Moments later, Ron Harper's defense on Stockton gave the Bulls their 6th championship in 8 years. Jordan held 6 fingers skyward. They had done it again, the hardest one, the greatest one. And he had done all that he could. 43 minutes, 45 of the team's 87 points, one of the most iconic shots in NBA history. Once it went in, Jordan said later, I knew we had been hanging around long enough that was the game-winning basket. Game 6 of the 1998 NBA Finals was June 14th, 1998, 25 years ago today. 25 years since MJ wore red. 25 years since Scotty gutted it out. 25 years since we silenced those fans. 25 years since we said goodbye. Michael Jordan gave us everything we could ever want. The good luck of the right birth. He was not the dragon, he was the knight. Oh, what a night.